I've decided that I wish I had a remote control to turn the record on and off with on the computer, but I don't, so I just have to stand up there and be in the way. So you finished reading about Jonathan Goforth last week, and we did the sequencing activity together. Today we're going to move on to a new story called Little Twigs. Your targets for today are: I can identify features of a play, and we've read plays before, and I can identify the cast of I cannot see. I can identify the cast of characters in a play, and I can read orally to portray characters in a play. So if you have a few people sitting around your house and they have nothing better to do, you all can each take a part and put on this play at your house. Now, before we get started, your phonics is actually a spelling skill and an English skill that we've already addressed, and it's abbreviations. And you're going to have to excuse me because it's a rainy day and I'm having a hard time seeing without the light on, and if I have the light on, it makes a big spot on the board. So, we're talking about abbreviations. Each name includes an abbreviation. An abbreviation is a short way of writing a word. Each abbreviation is read as the whole word that it represents. These two abbreviations are the words Mr. and General. I have Mr. Ethan Thomas and General Carlos Sanchez. This is the abbreviation for Mr. They took the beginning and ending sounds. And this is the abbreviation for general, and they took the first part. And you'll notice that on all abbreviations, they either take a mixture of letters from the word and put a period, or they'll take the first part of a word and put a period. All right, so look at the next one, next two. 21 River Street. This is the abbreviation for street. I don't know if they took the first and second letter or the first and last. And this is 17 Oakwood Road. And here I do know they took the first and last. But what I also need you to notice is that every time we write an abbreviation, the first letter in the abbreviation is capitalized, and there is always a period, and that lets me know that it's an abbreviation. Let's look at each of these abbreviations. DEC, period. What abbreviation is DEC? I think it's an abbreviation for a month, and it's the abbreviation for the month of December. D-E-C-E-M-B-E-R. And you notice they took the DEC and put a period. All right, look at the second one. TUES, period, is the abbreviation for a day, and it is Tuesday. And again, they took the first part and put the period. Remember your capital and your period for every abbreviation. All right, if you're looking at the sheet that was sent through, at the bottom it has A, B, C, D, E, F, but we're just going to look at each of these and say what we think they are, and then I'll write them down. Number 1, that is the abbreviation for the word doctor, which is what Jacob's mom is, a doctor. FRI is the abbreviation for a day of the week. It is the abbreviation for the day Friday, which used to, in school, we all look forward to. Now it seems like every day is a Friday. Number 3, OCT is a month, October. All right, number 4 is one that might not be as familiar to some of you, but it's a larger street in a bigger city normally. It's called an avenue. I think we have a few in town. I want to say Bellevue might be an avenue. REV is an abbreviation for a preacher. Sometimes we call them reverend. I don't want to misspell it. END. And the last one is another abbreviation for a month. It's actually the month that we're in right now. It is the month of April. Now, Typically, only longer words have abbreviations. Shorter words do not. You don't abbreviate the word May because it's just too short. You don't abbreviate June or July. They only have 3 and 4 letters, so we don't abbreviate shorter words usually. Although if you're texting, sometimes we do, because I can't say anything. Miss Millette abbreviates the word you when she's texting. Ha! Silly Miss Millette. All right. Your sight words for the passage that you're reading today. So you know that your workbook page is going to have to do with abbreviations. Your sight words, your vocabulary words are, these people are in your family. Cousins. And this is unaccented, so it says extra. Ugh. I'm not sure how they're using this one, but it sounds gross. Because that's T-E-D, it's going to say ed. Spurted. I believe we've had this one before. This is the final stable syllable. Struggled. Struggled. And this is DGE, but this is also ED. Wedged. Wedged. Okay? So let's listen, and you tell me which word matches the definition or goes in the blank. If the boy blank a rock, if the boy wedged a rock into a hole, is the rock tight or loose? If you wedge something in, it's probably tight, like sometimes our shoes get that way. If you're playing with your cousins, are you playing with your aunt's friends or her children? Well, if they're your cousins, they have to be related to you. So that would be your aunt's children. I just heard a beeping outside the window. It's a cable worker. I don't know. If the teacher has an extra pencil for the class, does the teacher have more pencils than she needs or not enough pencils? If she has extra, she has more. You know, just like in the little box in the cabinet under my shelf, there's a box full of gray pencils. If an orange spurted juice on your shirt, is the shirt clean or dirty? Well, if it's spurted, that means it's squirted out, so your shirt is probably dirty. And if a colt struggles to stand, was walking hard or easy? Well, anytime you struggle, the activity is hard. Okay, your story begins on pages 116 and 117. On page 116, you have the cast of characters. I have this question. It says, what do you think the setting is in Little Twigs? Well, if I look at the pictures on 116 and 117, I see that it's by a body of water, so it's probably a stream or a pond. Listen to this information about the story. Beavers have strong jaws and sharp teeth that they use to cut down full-grown trees and saplings or young trees. Beavers eat the bark, and then they use the wood for building. They use their teeth to carry the timber into the water to build a beaver dam. They use their paws to bring mud and stones to make the dam strong. When a dam is completed, it creates a pond by stopping the water in the stream from flowing. A beaver lodge is the beaver's home. It has several rooms and an underwater entrance. That's pretty cool. So they swim down under it and come up into the inside of it, and that's their home. Look at pages 116, 17, 18, and 19 to see what makes the story of Little Twigs different. And what you're going to notice is that it is a fiction story set up like a play, and that there's a list of characters. and it was written from a fable. Now, we have read a few fables over the year, and if you remember, a fable typically has animals that act like people, but we also learn a moral or a lesson from the story. In Little Twig, you are reading a drama adapted from a fable in the book Pocket Change. Morgan Reed Person adapted or made changes to this fable so that it would be a drama or a play. A drama is different from other stories that you've read because in a drama or a play, the story is told by having people act out the parts of the story characters. The narrator's job is to give details and extra information about what is happening in the drama. The characters' names in the drama sound like names for people. Do you think most of the characters are people or animals, and what makes you think so? The characters may be animals since the picture shows beavers swimming and working on a dam. Now, your purpose, the reason you're reading this today, and I apologize for standing to the side, but it's the light. I can't see my book well in the dark. The reason you're reading is to find out, are little twigs important and why? Now, here is what I would pose to you to think about as you're reading. You guys, on rainy days, sometimes pull out those blocks and play a form of Jenga. And the object behind Jenga is to pull out a block and to not let the tower fall down. Well, the beavers and Little Twig are going to play a similar game with the twigs that make up their dam. And I want you to think what could happen if they pull out the wrong twig. Okay? So you're going to read the story, part 1. It goes from 118 to 121. And after you read it, there are some questions at the end that I want your parents to go over with you, and they are in the lesson plan. And then when you have done that, you're going to complete workbook pages 309 and 310. On page 309, you're going to read a short passage, and you have to decide if that passage is real or make-believe. And then, like we went over just a few minutes ago, 310, we'll work with abbreviations. Okay? That shouldn't take you long. But, like I said, if you want to, if you've got some extra people around the house, give everybody a role and act out this drama. Okay, guys. Next thing.